Happy Friday, everyone. This is Minhua. We are at our market update volume 5. I am with my lender friend, Adam, and I'm gonna have Adam introduce himself again if you're a new audience to us.
Hi, my name is Adam Barreto. I'm a mortgage advisor, and I am very, very grateful as usual. And I can't believe it's been 5 episodes of doing this with you because it's been so much fun and it just has been flying by. So excited today and good to see you and happy Friday.
Thank you, Adam, for always being so positive and always bring great insights. And by the way, I am a realtor, real estate agent, a member of California Association of Realtors and National Association of Realtors. Forgot to mention that. So, Adam, are you ready for your hot seat?
Oh, Lord, yes. I'm ready to go. It is hot outside, so I guess it's all good. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, by the way, your view looks really cool, almost like you're in a resort.
So, it's a real background.
Oh, I know. You're still at your home in the backyard, right?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm gonna jump right in, and today my question is about the challenges new buyers and new mortgage applicants are facing during this uncertain time. Are there anything they should do to be prepared for these challenges?
So that's a really good question. Let's sort of dive in really quick and state that it is going a little bit harder for qualifications. I think a lot of lenders, investors, and I think we've touched on this in other videos, they're very cautious. And so their guidelines have gotten a little bit tighter. Whether it's more in reserves that they're requiring, whether it's a better or a higher credit score that they're requiring. But there are... So on a general level, yes, guidelines have gone stringent. Again, my whole recommendation is always, if you're qualified last week, I would double check with your lender this week and find out where you stand, right? As far as, an influx of applicants, we're still getting quite a few people getting pre-approved. I think what we're seeing right now is as areas like Orange County are beginning to open up again slowly. I know LA County is not quite there yet, but with Orange County opening up, you're getting people that are a little bit more, what word am I looking for? They're a little bit more, eager to get back into the market and see if there's houses that are available. And so we have been getting an influx of applications coming through for pre-approvals, looking for those gems, right? And I know that I'm gonna ask you questions about the marketplace later. And I think there's but there's a trend with prices slightly going down, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I'm sure you'll be able to elaborate a whole lot more on that one. But like I said, stringent guidelines, but the supply and demand still there. We still have a lot of people looking for homes. We still have a lot of people that are still employed. Whether it's FHA, VA, or conventional, we have loans for that, right? And I'm not just talking specifically about me and my company, but I'm just talking about in general, there's a loan for everybody. So, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question, but.
Yes, absolutely. And I really like the last point you gave, that there's a mortgage program for everybody. I know a lot of, when I talk to my clients, some of them got frustrated from talking to other lenders who declined to help them, maybe because of their credit history, maybe because of their income, maybe because of the current funds they have for purchase. But as Adam mentioned, there's actually a lot of resources and programs out there to help people with a variety of different needs. So I appreciate that you brought that. And thank you. So I guess what I heard is, if I am a new buyer, I should continue to pay my credit cards, to pay my car loans, to build my credit history, if I have those debts, to help me build the credit history. And if I have any change of my current work situation or income, I should definitely let my lender know. And even there's no change, I should still check in with my lender more frequently than before. Okay, so you want to talk a little bit? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think you want to be off hot seat.
I do. It's really hot outside, so I'm like, no, let's restrict this to one question. No, but I do want to, and I think we talked about this a little bit. I for our listeners who are actually homeowners, right? I understand that we're talking a little bit about first time home buyers, and they're still available. Loans are still available, so please don't hesitate. Get pre-approved. There's still opportunities out there. I want to say that the reality is that we're a little bit more in a buyer's market than we are in a seller's market, right? And so you have a little bit more ability to negotiate on things in this current climate. So some people would say that that they're nervous about getting into something. Others are saying this is opportunity. So it's really your perspective on this. But what I wanted to sort of jump into, and we constantly keep on talking about forbearance, and I always want to keep on making sure that we highlight this for our current homeowners. I was on a webinar with Freddie Mac earlier today, and they were talking about a couple of things, but one of which was credit reporting, right? So one of the rules is that they're not supposed to report your negative credit on a forbearance. But what I actually got clarification on, and I want to make sure that everyone who is listening does their own research. We never want, as much as we are talking about facts and things that are happening right now, we always recommend that you do your own research and follow up on these things. So again, this specifically is coming from Freddie Mac. And they were talking about how it does appear on your credit report. It's just coded differently. So that's something to be aware of, that it does show that the only reason why you would go into forbearance is if you absolutely needed to, and that will show up on your report. It's just coded differently. So I just wanted to make sure that people are aware of that like everything else, everything is accounted for. So to be very cautious when if they don't need it, please do not go for forbearance. Continue to make your payments, continue to stay on top of everything. It will pay off in the future, I promise you. But yeah, that's the last spiel I'm going to give. And then I'm going to jump off the hot seat and I'm going to ask you about the market. So we absolutely know that in some areas, and I think we sort of touched on this, in some areas, it feels like they might have bottomed out. And I'm wondering about LA and Orange County specifically on where we stand. Does it feel like we've hit the bottom on that in the market and we're beginning to start increasing, or are we just entering the downslope, or what are your thoughts, Minhua?
I can show some graphs and hopefully that helps all of us visualize what I am going to share. But one thing is there are prediction that I think I mentioned this before, there are fewer buyers and there are fewer sellers in general during COVID-19. And you can see the demand is going down. So is the supply, but the demands possibly, some economists predict that the demands possibly the downward trend might close to the bottom or might already hit the bottom. So let's see if I can share one thing with everybody before I talk about what the supply side looks like in LA County and Orange County, which really correspond to what you just mentioned. There's always demands, right? So let me see if I can share this screen. And last time when we go live, I know my screen went dark, so we're not live right now and take some pressure away from us.
There we go.
Okay, so can you see this?
I can.
So this is Orange County, I want to say 2017. This is possibly 2017 before the crash this is around now. And the purple part is our supply. So how many homes, the listing inventory, how many homes are on the market. So as you might see, before the crash, there are way more supplies than the demands. But one thing I want to point out to everybody is, I don't know if everybody noticed, the housing demand almost stayed the same. So we have same amount of demands housing-wise. However, the housing supply changes. So for example, around here, there's barely any homes for sale, and the demand's almost, there's almost no space between the supply and demands. This is possibly where the seller's market is. And I think this is around 2012 and 2013. And you can see, if we're here now, these two lines pinch closing together. So we might be transitioning into a more seller favored place right before we went into COVID. Oh, I forgot our number. What is our COVID-19? No,
COVID-19. Yep.
Oh, COVID-19. Okay, I was thinking
Yes.
about 16 or 19, COVID-19. Yeah, and this looks like a more balanced market here. Not this one is, totally buyer's market, right? This is more like a seller's market. So this is where we are now. So now let's take a look at the supply. Our supply, as I mentioned last week, has dropped dropped more than the demand. So I want to show everybody the supply in LA. And Adam, is this too technical per se?
No. I think it's good information. I mean, I think this is what we all anticipated, right? When we get everyone in sheltered in place, you were going to have a decrease. It's nothing to be too alarmed about, right? This is what we anticipated.
Well, this is actually last Thursday. So last Thursday, we see a 6% increase of active listing in LA County, and we have 9,037 homes added to the active listing. But compared to the same time last year around the same time, there is a 43% increase of supplies. Right now it's only 6%, so you can see how dramatically the supplies dropped in comparison to other years. And last year this time, there are 12,889 homes added into active listing in LA County. So now you can see actually the supply dropped dramatically. And let's take a look at Orange County. So this is last Thursday, only 4,344 homes added to active listing, 4% increase in 2 weeks. And last year, same time, there are 60% increase. So from both visual, you possibly realize the supply actually dropped about 50%. We have less demands. It doesn't mean this is a buyer's market yet, because we also don't have enough supply at this moment.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, so I see, what is this? So this is what you can see in the past weeks, how much supply has changed. So as I mentioned, the supply decreased 49% in LA County and 52% decrease in Orange County.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm curious now, right? Because like I said earlier, Orange County has, at least lined up their restrictions. And so they're beginning to open up, I think, public places like the beach and the parks and stuff like that in their county. And so I'm wondering how that will influence people in the next 2 weeks. I think there's going to be a lot of action that's going to happen, that's going to start up again.
That's true. And again, still a lot of people are still wait and see. A lot of people are, especially the people who has the resources to stay put, they actually are. They want to hunker down even longer just to be safe, buyer-wise and seller-wise. And these people typically are salaried, high-earning buyers or sellers who has a great amount of job security at the same time as well. So I think these are the crowd who are not willing to take risks.
Interesting info.
I know it's very somber, a giant drop, and when you see it, you can really, I think we all feel it. But it's really just the same we have been talking about. Supply has decreased and demand has decreased. And we might see this the same thing we're talking about, a dip, and we possibly are more and more likely to see a U-shaped dip. It's just the bottom of the U, how big the bottom is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think we're seeing across the state of California as well. And so I'm hoping that sooner than later, we'll start seeing a little bit of an increase and improvement on that, so we can get back to some forms of normalcy, particularly in our business. That's quite vital.
Yeah, but I think this is a message for buyers. Anybody's behavior doesn't change suddenly. So regardless how the market or how the number really looks like, seller wouldn't suddenly change their mentality and their behavior and to just, cut their purchase or asking price. So if you think you're going into a market, suddenly everything will be 20%, 30%, 10% less than before, it's impossible, because the sellers, it will take possibly a year or 2 years for the seller to adjust to their behavior to the market or what the market is directing them. So if you are thinking going into a market to buy homes, and you will see a big discount there, that really is not going to happen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, not in 2 weeks, not in possibly not in 3 months, possibly not even in 6 months. So if you're thinking about, let me wait for another 3 months and 6 months and see everybody who lists their home will discount their asking price, that's not going to happen, regardless what the reality is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Even if we're looking back into the trends, right, even in 2007, when we saw prices at a high, and then it dropped in 2008, and then all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, values are going to stay low, and sure enough, they did not, right? We surpassed the numbers that we have. So real estate always somehow increases over time.
Yeah, exactly. The long-term trend is always, the price will always go up, but not a dramatic increase. It's really a kind of a zigzag line, but it's keep trending up.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Minhua. I am boiling. I don't know if it's boiling, frying maybe out here, but I wanted to thank you so much for having me again. Hopefully our listeners out there that are watching this appreciate the information that we're giving them. We do a lot of research, I think, to find out what's going on and be able to pass it on to you guys. So yeah, thanks, Minhua.
You're very welcome, and thank you for sharing your insight. I have my last question. So what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing for fun now? I really want to hear some fun facts.
Fun. Well, as you can see, I have a pool in the back. I've lived here for probably almost 5 years now, and I've only been in that pool less than a handful of times. So I have a weird feeling that I'm going to be spending a lot more time in that pool as we get warmer, right, during the weeks. But as far as anything else, I honestly, I feel a little old, but I just want to go on a drive. I just want to drive somewhere. I don't need to get out of the car. I just want to drive somewhere and just get out for a minute. What about you?
I've been playing this very trendy game, Animal Crossing, but not in any hardcore way, and I really enjoyed it. What did you say?
Animal Crossing?
Yes. So it's on Nintendo Switch. And you actually buy home, you pay mortgage too, and you earn miles, and you can use your miles to exchange goods. You also can get things and sell things to make money. So it's somewhat like real life, but much, much more relaxing.
Awesome.
So I think that's it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your pool, and thank you for coming again.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Adam.